Hey guys, good afternoon and welcome to the 330 Sports Show. My name is Justin Coffin and today is Thursday, June 17th, 2021. We're coming to you live from downtown Youngstown, Ohio, and we are a Youngstown Studio Network production. We have the winner of our Lockbox in studio, Joseph. He's going to join us here in a second. We are going to have a little check presentation with Joe and Joseph. Are we doing phone lines or no?
We could.
Yep. Phone lines, if you want, are open. If you want to insert a dad joke here or there today, we're gonna have a dad themed show. 330-595-1600. We're gonna check in on the NBA and some other news and notes around the sports world. So I'm gonna have Joe and
let's
Joe and Joe.
So Joe, we want to stand over here real quick. This is our winner. We started this promotion. It took 13 weeks for a winner to come up with it. Let me slide this mic over. Joseph, congratulations first on winning the AirPod Pros and $1,300. So why don't you share with our listeners the process that you undertook to win this prize?
Well, I just followed your clues that you gave, and just I put like all the numbers like in a spreadsheet and just started eliminating them, and I got really interested when you said that the numbers were actually chosen but in a different order during the month of May. So I had to listen to all the shows, write down all the numbers.
That's so
and
cool.
Then find the ones that would work, and so I eliminate. So it's like, like on my phone here, I have like the list here.
Now, when you called in, did you have it down to you knew which one it was, or was that one of many?
It was one of three.
Okay.
Because of the other clue that you had said that someone had picked a number, but it was one number off.
Okay.
On Fast Freddy's show. So there were three numbers like that. And so I narrowed it down to those three numbers. And I happened to just Google 215 partners. And it happens to be an equity fund. And I thought, ooh, this is it. But that's not what the partner.
No, that's total coincidence.
That's just a total coincidence. That was not what you meant by the clue. So
right, but still, that's so cool that you fed that rabbit hole, went right down to three possibilities out of 1,000. So congratulations on that. And so, Justin, why don't you hand them?
Well, I feel like, did you ever see the Big Salad episode in Seinfeld where Elaine buys the salad, but George hands it off? So this is Joe.
Cover the account number,
purchased
by the way.
You. Yeah. Joe purchased the big salad, but I'm handing it over. So congratulations.
Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. And hey, whoever said watching the show doesn't pay
That's
off?
Right. So,
Perfect
Joseph,
example right here. Thank you, Joseph. Absolutely. And we hope you continue to watch and listen and keep calling in.
Yeah, I like your show.
Absolutely. We appreciate it.
That are on here, so yeah, I'll continue to watch.
Oh,
cool.
Thank you.
Thanks,
so
man.
much. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And as a dadism, don't spend that all in one place.
Had to
drop it in. Thanks again, Joseph. All right. So, a loyal listener right there. And again, if he's not watching the show live, you can always watch on demand on Youngstown Studio Network, on demand on YouTube, on demand on our Twitter channel. So any of those, you can always follow my show on social media at 330 Sports Show. We put a lot of good content out there. Something, like for example, on Tuesday's show, I forgot to mention, Warren JFK, their high school baseball team just won the state baseball championship this past weekend. So congratulations to them. That was something I omitted that I wanted to bring up on Tuesday's show. But a lot of times we have so much content to cover, we just don't have time for it. And another example, I'm going to give you a couple teasers for next week's show, what we're going to talk to before we get into today's show. So on next week's show, I had the whole, Joe, have you seen this? The McDonald's thing that happened in Ravenna?
I did not.
Oh boy. Well, it's gone viral. It's like well over 2.5 million views. This lady wanted her slushies mixed different. The employees didn't, and it turned into like an all-out brawl in a Ravenna, about 45 minutes by Kent, Ohio, up
I
the
get
road.
so proud when we're
And-
famous like that.
Oh my God. Well, let's not group them. I guess they're in the 330, but let's not lump them into Youngstown now. So a very embarrassing moment. But at the same time, it's kind of funny to watch. So I'll show you that video on Tuesday. So people can, I guess if you haven't seen the video, you can watch it over the weekend and we can talk about it and you can formulate an opinion for next Tuesday. Something else I want to talk about on next Tuesday's show. Sorry, I hate to keep teasing next week, but there was a Kentucky Little League game that parents decided to, hey, we don't agree with a call. Let's fight with each other. And then let's have all the parents run out on the field and get in fights in front of our 8 and 9-year-olds because, an 8 and 9-year-old championship matters so much. So that is one of the, that's one of the cases where parents ruin sports.
Right.
And they live so vicariously through their children that they can't just, it's a little league trophy, for God's sakes. I am not in the camp of everyone gets a trophy, but when they're below 10 years old, why not? Who cares? And why are you arguing about an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid's game? If it's a blatant call and you want to say something, that's fine. But to cross the line, to go on a field and get in actual physical altercations with someone else is just an absolute embarrassment. And I feel so bad for those kids that had to witness it. So had to get that off my chest before we started. So I have a ton.
Okay, on that, can I say
please,
something real quick?
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin a story if you happen to cover. Did you hear about the 9-year-old kid who played the role of a referee during a soccer match?
Oh boy, no, I did not.
Okay, so the real referee didn't show up.
Okay.
So a 9-year-old, they decided to elect as the referee so that the game, and this is a little league, like little kids deal. And one of the parents got upset with the 9-year-old's call. Guess what the 9-year-old did?
Threw him out of the game.
Yellow card out. Threw
Nice.
a parent out.
Hell
so
yes.
That was beautiful.
Well done to that 9-year-old. That's just fantastic. And there's a point, and we had talked about this a week or two ago with the popcorn, like dumping the popcorn on Russell Westbrook as he's leaving. There was one of the Boston Celtics players got spit at. Another player ran on the court, or another fan ran on the court. Something else even happened. One of the players for Memphis, John Morant, his dad was like sworn at, or racial comments were made. It's like, come on, people. Like, we are better than that.
Yeah.
Or at least I like to think most of us are better than that. And hopefully that's just a small minority that unfortunately gets the spotlight because, that's just what happens. So let's get into today's show and what I want to talk about. So we have, again, a loaded show for you today. We are going to do if you remember about a month ago, we did our Mother's Day TV draft, TV moms draft. So today we're going to, in a little bit, in the back half of our show, play our TV dads draft. So that was a lot of fun. We're going to have a really good time with that. Greg Kirchner, Brett Franklin, Edgar Mosco, and Doug Eisenbraun joined me sort of as our panel for that. We go 30 picks deep. It's a lot of fun. And we also have a ton of honorable mentions because 30 just didn't do it. I think on my list, I had like 52 that I could come up with, shows maybe I've seen a few times or shows maybe I've seen the whole series, but we have cartoons in there. We got real dads. We got funny shows. We got sitcoms. We got classic ones. So I think you're really going to enjoy that. We're also going to be sharing some of our favorite funny and lame dad jokes. So we're going to get to those here pretty soon. I do want to tease one more thing for next week. So, Joe, I'm going to put up our first graphic. Next week, if you remember way back in February, we broke down the movie Groundhog Day, and that was sort of our first in-depth movie breakdown. We're going to try to do these once a month, and I'm going to try to alternate between non-sports movie and sports movie. So, Groundhog Day, obviously not a sports movie, but now we're going to shift to one of our, I believe this movie made it to our Elite 8, Happy Gilmore. So this is just, a fantastic movie. They came out in the mid to late 90s. We're going to get into this and break it completely down. We have 9 different categories we're going to break down. It's just going to be a blast. So this is going to appear next week, Thursday, June 24th show. And again, it'll be live or on demand or anywhere where you get your podcast platforms at. So that should be just a ton of fun. I know that's one of Joe's favorite movies. It's one of my favorite movies. Would you say that's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about sports movie? We talked about, like, I knew you would like Major League. And
yeah.
stuff
I
like that.
probably watched Major League the most amount of
Mhm.
times, but Happy Gilmore seems to be in my rotation.
Yeah. I think I put that in one of my all-time favorite sports movies, but like also comedies and also just movies in general.
Any movie that you can quote like forever for the rest of your life. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good one.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna kind of do a deep dive into that movie and have some fun with it.
Price is Wrong, Bob.
So it's gonna be great. We're gonna sync up our soundboard next week and throw in a few of those. But it's gonna be really, really good. So
Shoot him again.
let's go ahead and we're gonna switch gears now and we're gonna go to the NBA. So very first thing, I want to do about 5 to 10 minutes here on the NBA because we're getting down to sort of like the nitty gritty here. We're in the final 7 teams left in the NBA, but there's been some huge games the last 2 nights and some huge games coming up the next 2 nights. So last night there were 2 huge game 5s. So the first game featured the Atlanta Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia hosted this game. The game was 2-2, and Philadelphia was up 26 points in this game and ended up losing. I believe Atlanta outscored Philadelphia 40-19 in the fourth quarter to come back from a 26-point deficit. Trae Young has just been fantastic.
How does that happen? I've seen that happen a number of times. And do they like overexert themselves and then they're just tired in the second half?
See, there could be so many factors. Joel Embiid for the Sixers is so good, but he's been kind of like banged up. So, he started the game great, kind of, fizzled out. Ben Simmons for the 76ers, and another one of their star players, just can't shoot free throws. He cannot. So they had to they were doing that. Remember the old hack-a-shack where they would foul him intentionally to get, so they're kind of doing that same thing, and that strategy chipped away. And then, they start to build some confidence. And I think sometimes teams are clock watching more than they're playing to win. So they're just hoping the time runs out in essence, instead of, you play to win the game. So they're not going for the kill. They're going for let's hold on and win. But when you're up by 26 points, I mean, in the second half too,
I think that if you're slow playing and you're dribbling slow, your synchronization gets off.
Yeah. You get out of sync. You don't run your offense like you normally would. And I think it's a little bit human nature to kind of let your guard down when you get a big lead like that too. But 26 points in, I believe there was 14 minutes left in the game. At that point, you have to close that out. And
now, and sort of like in football, before the game start, you watch them drilling shots from everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Why is the free throw line such a pressure spot? Same thing with kickers and doing, they're kicking field goals from 60 yards away during the game, and then they struggle with 40 during a game.
Two of the biggest stars in the playoffs remaining. The Greek Freak for Milwaukee cannot shoot a free throw in clutch situations, and Ben Simmons for Philadelphia cannot. And I don't know if it's, all eyes are on you. I honestly think it's not so much a skill thing as it becomes a mental issue, and you're thinking about it more than you're just like getting up there, taking your time, going through your rhythm. Like any basketball coach will tell you, once you get your form down, every time you go to the free throw line, you do the exact same thing. So if you take 2 dribbles, spin the ball and shoot it, that's what you do every single time. But sometimes these guys get in their own heads, and they could be the most talented, athletic, freakishly gifted person, but they can't put the ball in the hoop 15 feet away with no one guarding them, as compared to, you can go to any local gym and find someone that can shoot 80% from the free throw line. Now, obviously, you're tired because you're running, so physical endurance and things like that play a factor too. But the crowd noise, whatever. But if you're at this level, you got to be able to block that stuff out.
Now, do they trash talk? Like, are they doing a good bit of John?
Oh, I would think so. Generally in the camera angles we have, you don't normally see that, but yeah, I'm sure there's some, especially like after the first shot goes up, you kind of see the guys meet in the middle, or like, for the one team, they give each other high fives or whatever it might be. But like sometimes the other guys will try to get in their head. And
yeah, because I'm thinking it's a concentration thing. So if you know what to do to that guy,
Yep.
you just keep working on him at the free throw line.
Exactly. So no, that's a great point. So I don't know. There's two sides of the coins. I think the guys that have that killer instinct can just block that stuff out. Like a Kevin Durant that we're going to talk about here in a minute. But like Trae Young, who's 20 years old, has been able to, just dominate this series. The last two games, they've come back from 16 points down and come back from 26 points down. So the last two games, Trae Young, 25 points, 18 assists. And last night he had 39 points and 7 assists. So just dominating at an early age for a very young Atlanta team. So that series is now going to shift to Atlanta on Friday night. So that's a game 6. Hawks win. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is crazy. If they lose, that goes back to game 7 in Philadelphia. I believe that game would be on Sunday. I want to go now to the other Eastern Conference semifinal and talk about the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. So the first image you're seeing here is what Kevin Durant did the other night. He has arguably become the best player in basketball. He might have been the last couple years, but after this injury, that Achilles injury, and other injuries that he's had lingering, he's arguably become the best player in the league. He had 49 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists. That's the first time I believe that's been done in a while. I know LeBron had a game like that in game 1 of the finals a few years ago, but Kevin Durant, has gotten a lot of like negative press in the sense of like, well, he's always got these superstars around him, and this Brooklyn Nets team is a perfect example of that. However, Kyrie Irving didn't play in this game, and James Harden played 46 of the 48 minutes. However, he shot 1 of 10 from the field and 0 of 8 from the 3-point line. So James Harden was a non-factor in this game. Kevin Durant just continues to carry this team on his back. So I don't know if he can do that for a whole series, if Irving does not come back, or if Harden is kind of the shell of himself that he's been. But he's been able to do it the last 2 games. So we'll see what he does. I still think this is going to a game 7, and then it's kind of a coin flip. So this series now shifts to Milwaukee for game 6, and I think it's just going to be an epic performance and series. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, basically called him. He said right now he's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world right now, and just not going to be able to challenge him. But my argument is the Milwaukee Bucks are a very, very, very good defensive basketball team. You got Giannis that you could throw at him. You got Middleton that you can throw at him. You have several other players that you can throw at this guy. Tucker that you could throw at this guy. But double team him, do something, get the ball out of his hands. Is as long as Irving is not playing and Harden's not the same guy he is, you cannot give up 49 points to Durant. You just have to. You have to be able to make somebody else beat you. And if I'm the Bucks, I'm making anybody else but Durant beat me. And Jeff Green had a really nice game the other night, but I'd rather Jeff Green go for 30 and Durant go for 30 as well, rather than Durant go for 49. and beat me by 3 points. So we're going to switch real quick to the Western Conference. So in the Western Conference series, last night we had another really, really good game. The Los Angeles Clippers defeated the Utah Jazz, the 1 seed, 119-111. So this was also a game 5. So right now the Clippers hold a 3-2 series edge. They've now won 3 games in a row. They started 0-2 down to Utah, the 1 seed, and they also started down 2 games as well to the Dallas Mavericks in the first series as well. So they most likely will be without. They're most likely going to be without Kawhi Leonard the rest of this series. And Kawhi Leonard, we all know how great he's been. But Paul George, who we have talked about, has struggled in the playoffs. A lot of people call him playoff P, kind of jokingly, but he's really been criticized. But this last game last night and the game before that, he has really stepped up. Last night he had 37 points and 16 assists. So just a really, really great performance. Clippers win the next game. They go on to face the Suns. If they lose, we will have a game 7 in Utah. And then again, the winner of this series will take on the Phoenix Suns. Now, one other note about the Phoenix Suns, who haven't played now in a few days since they swept their series, Chris Paul has been placed in COVID-19 protocols. So we will, we'll see how that goes. I'm guessing Phoenix really wants this to go to 7 games so they can get Chris Paul back and through those protocols and healthy and all that stuff. So that's where we're at right now. So I want to give a few more NBA updates before we move on. So the NBA just announced their all league team. So we're going to start with the 3rd team, all NBA. Kyrie Irving was on that team, Bradley Beal of Washington, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, who we just talked about, and the defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert, who we all know very well from, he was sort of the face of COVID and the NBA shutting down last year. We're going to go to the 2nd team now, all NBA. 2nd team, all NBA is going to be Chris Paul, who had just a phenomenal season. I'd argue he is the MVP of the league. Damian Lillard, just an amazing player. LeBron, Julius Randle, comeback player of the year. And Joel Embiid, who was also one of the top 2 or 3 in the MVP voting. And then finally, the 1st team all NBA. So arguably the best the league had to offer this year was your point guard, Stephen Curry, Kawhi Leonard at the other guard spot. Luka Doncic is quickly becoming one of the best players and the face of the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, and Nikola Jokic, the MVP of the league this year for Denver. So those are the all NBA teams.
I can't believe you pronounced that name.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's one of those names you got to practice a little bit before you get on there.
The draft, what was the dude in the draft that was that we got?
Oh, Barkevius Mingo.
No, the little guy. The little shit. Never mind. I'll think of it.
Okay, all right. For the Browns, the Cavs.
Yes.
Was it an early round draft pick?
No.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Yeah.
Yes.
JOK. We're just going to call him JOK because we don't want the show to be, that'll cut. If you got to say his name 5 times, the show would be, let's say an hour long, where if you just say JOK, then it's like 55 minutes.
Well, you're the only guy I know that could say the name. So I want you to say it just so I can hear it.
Well, I got to give credit to Brittany Mollis, who's been on our show before, because that's like her favorite player, like, cause she's a Notre Dame fan and that's where he came from. And she pronounced it. So ever since she said it, it's kind of like stuck with me. I kind of heard it, but when in doubt, just go JOK, when in doubt, just go JOK. Yep. And he's either going to be linebacker or safety for the Browns, probably kind of a hybrid this year. One more NBA note, for this season, the Rookie of the Year was announced too, and that was LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets. We all know his crazy father, But LaMelo, really nice player, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Also, not too long ago, probably only about 2 years ago, was playing up at the Spire Academy up towards Ashtabula for high school basketball his senior year. So now here's the last basketball note. This isn't a current basketball note, but this happened just 5 years ago. And to me, this is my greatest probably moment in sports. Ohio State winning the titles were awesome. But Ohio State's always been so good. So it still has effect, but the Cavs 2016 title will be up there for me as one of the greatest accomplishments in team sports history in any league. One of the greatest comebacks in all of sports. They were down 3-1 against a team that set the NBA record for wins with the unanimous MVP on that team. So I just borrowed this from GV Artwork. You can't spell miracle without CLE. So just a fantastic moment. And I just want to relive 2 of those moments because June 19th was the date of the championship. That's this Saturday. We obviously don't do a show on Saturday. So I wanted to get a little bit ahead out of it. I'm going to show you 2 videos and just to kind of reminisce a little bit. So we're going to start with the one everybody probably knows the most. It's called The Block.
His 3rd block of the game as we come up on a minute and a half remaining.
Picked off by Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala to the rim.
Oh, great block!
James out of nowhere, skies to the rim. He bats it away, and J.R. Smith recovers.
He's got numbers if he hurries. The Curry bounce pass, Andre to the rim, goes up, blocked by James from behind, and J.R. Smith got the ball. What a block by LeBron James, came all the way back to knock it away.
Out comes Iguodala, 2-on-1 to find Curry, get it back. Iguodala puts it up. Oh, LeBron tracked him down and made the rejection. Huge defensive play by the 4-time MVP. 100 seconds to go. We're tied at 89. Are you having fun yet, Click?
All right. So had to share that one with you. And then there's just one more we're going to go to. And that would be you can't have the block without the shot. So you need the shot. So this is Kyrie's version.
And they're putting Curry in a pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. 4th quarter for Cleveland, including this one. They came out of the timeout set to get Steph Curry on Kyrie Irving. They get exactly what they want. Everybody out of my way. It's time to dance. Gets him one-on-one, lulls him to sleep, forces a late contest. That's a big-time offensive play by Kyrie Irving, but it's a play he's made his entire life. The ability to score and flat out get it done on the offensive end. Irving now with 26 and back in. This is awesome. His fans realize they're 10.6 seconds away now from a champ.
All right. So I had to share those with you guys. I mean, that just gives me chills even 5 years later watching that. I don't know if I've ever I was at home watching that game because I tend to watch big, huge, important games at home. That's just what I do. I don't want to be out in public because I'm probably going to make an ass out of myself. But I can admit I literally cried after that game was over. It meant so much to me, and I know it meant so much to Northeast Ohio and Cavs fans and Cleveland fans in general. But that's still to this day, it's we're 5 years removed almost, gives me chills. And just especially that shot by Irving, just with the announcer, it was in Golden State. So that kind of broke their hearts in Oakland, and, them having arguably the best team of all time, just an absolutely great moment in all of sports for not just the Cavs, but for Cleveland and really a lot of NBA fans would say that that's the best game in NBA history. So, I think that's one of those everyone will kind of remember where they were when that game happened. So, okay. So let's have a little bit of fun now. Let's have a little bit of fun now. Before we go to our Zoom call here in a minute, I'm going to just dish out a few little lame dad jokes at you. And I'm going to have Joe put this image on the screen because this is the kind of dad joke. I kind of want to keep them clean. I kind of want to have a little bit of fun with this. So if you have dad jokes, and I know people on like Boardman Talk and stuff shared some ideas with me. I had some people on Twitter share some stuff with me, Instagram, stuff like that. So I have a few down. I'm going to have Joe maybe share a few if he's got some, but this is a perfect example of one I'm talking about on screen. So I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. Not sure what they were laced with, but I've been tripping all day. So, just stupid stuff like that makes you laugh. The classic dad line. So Joe, you got one?
You know what? I had one yesterday. I totally forgot.
Okay.
Ill prepared.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw a few at us now. We're going to do a break in between our first 3 rounds of our draft. We'll come back, tell a few more. So that'll give you a few minutes to think of one.
And then we'll
share some. So I'm just going to share a few that other people have given me. So one was, how do you make Lady Gaga cry?
No.
Yeah, poker face. This one, I don't know. Yeah, this one's okay. How much do roofs cost? And nothing, they're on the house. A lot of times it's about.
Can I do rim shot?
If you want. A lot of times it's just totally about the setup. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you already talked that one down.
So. Right. Well, and did I tell you about the wedding I went to last week? Oh, it was really lovely. Even the cake was in tears. So. Somebody gave me a pen. Somebody gave me a pen last week. I don't know why. They're just like, check out this pen. It's awesome. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. So it's a pen that can write underwater. It's pretty cool. So it can write other words too, but underwater just happens to be one of my favorite words to write. Oh man, that one's really bad.
I'll give you
sorry to whoever sent that one in. Oh man, I like this one. As a former teacher, this one makes me laugh a little bit. Of all the inventions, and you'll like this, you like inventors, of all the inventions of the last 100 years, the dry erase board has to be the most remarkable. Well done. So let me tell you about this story. This is going way back, obviously, before I was married, in college. And it was a girl, like we had talked a little bit and we were going to meet up and, possibly date. So I asked her to meet up at the gym. Right. And she didn't show up. So I knew right away we weren't going to work out. So this is a good one for Ryan.
Okay.
So Ryan, if Ryan comes up to you and tells you you don't understand cloning, you can say, well, that makes 2 of us. All right. This is a good one. Somebody sent this one in. My wife screaming in pain during labor. So I asked, what's wrong? She screamed, these contractions are going to kill me. I am sorry, honey, I replied. What is wrong? Oh, man. So since we were talking about movie breakdowns and stuff with comedians, I gotta say, do you have a favorite Robin Williams movie?
Good Will Hunting.
Okay. All right. I would say without a doubt, my favorite Robin Williams movie has to be Mrs. Fire. Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Total setup.
See, it's not as fun if you have to explain them.
I'm
so,
thinking, what Doubtfire? I was going to correct you, but I didn't realize. I was me, not you.
So last year before I retired from teaching, my coworkers voted me the most secretive guy at the school. I can't tell you how much it meant to me. It's really nice outside. I like to go hiking. Lisa in the back, I know, runs every day. So, something you want to pack, you want to pack some food with you. So I made a playlist for hiking. It's got peanuts, the cranberries, and M&M in it. I call it my trail mix.
I'll give you a laughter on that one.
All right. Just like 2 more. 2 more, then we're going to the Zoom call. All right. Did you hear about Steve Harvey and his wife? They got into a little bit of a fight. It was a real family feud. And then this one, my God, I have to say,
you have to go out on a winner.
well, this one, and I apologize because I cannot remember which. This was from a student, a second grader last year who was 8 years old, 7 years old, you know. And this one got me, and it literally made me just literally laugh out loud. So, how many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
I don't know.
What do you think? Give me
8?
a number. 8 would be the number, but
Yeah.
no, it's 10. 10 tickles. That was a really good joke for a second grader.
For a second grader,
Hell
I'll
yeah.
give him that.
That's well done. So
10 tickles.
So that's the ones we got right now. I'm gonna give Joe a homework assignment for the next 10 or 15 minutes. I just want you to think of a few. Just a few. You can Google them if you want.
Siri, find a dad joke for me.
I want them in the break though. So we're going.
Beyond my abilities at the moment.
Oh, Siri's not helping.
So we're gonna go to part 1 of our Father's Day draft right now. This is gonna be a Zoom call again. This has Greg, Brett, Doug, and Edgar on it, as well as me. It's hilarious. It's a lot of fun. So hope you have a good time listening to this. Take a listen. Now, is that all I need to do? Do I need to press play?
Yes, you do.
All right, perfect. Here we go. Here we go. Hey guys, Justin Coffin, 330 Sports Show. Joining me is Doug Eisenbrun up in the top left, Edgar Moscow in the top right, Greg Kirchner bottom left, and Brett Franklin bottom right. We did our Mother's Day draft about a month and a half ago. We had a lot of fun with that. So this week coming up is Father's Day, and we thought, why the hell not? Let's do it again. Let's run it back. We had a good time with the Mother's Day draft. So this time, Doug and Edgar are going to join us for this. We've been sending kind of group messages over the last week, and about how many people, and I don't know, like Brett said, just speak for him. I think this one was almost easier to put a list together than the moms. I don't want to speak for everybody on that, but I kind of agree with that statement. So
I think this could be funnier too, because I think in a lot of aspects, while the women were great, we had a lot of fun with the women. I think it's just more or less because it went weird for some reason. Right. But I think there's so many funny guys out there, and I think that's where I think some of this is going to go.
I think with the fathers, with the TV shows that we grew up with, the actual fathers were the primary role instead of the mothers.
Mm-hmm.
They played a bigger role, either as a single dad or
yeah, exactly. So
that could be a spoiler alert for his first pick.
I had a certain decade for him, and I think he's narrowing that down.
So here's what we're gonna do with the draft. We're gonna go 6 total rounds. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go halfway through the draft. So we're gonna do the first 3 rounds, take a quick break, then we'll come back for part 2, I guess, rounds 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to be each of us is going to be making 6 total selections for a total of 30 picks overall. At the end, we'll have a little bit of time to talk about honorable mentions, anybody that may or may not have made the cut, or any disagreements or whatever we might have with our list. But we'll get it started here. Here's how the picks are going to go. Edgar drew the first selection. Greg is going to go second. Doug will go third. Brett will go fourth, and I will go fifth, and then reverse on the way back. So snake draft style. So Edgar, the floor is yours. You have the first pick in our TV Fathers draft.
Well, I'm not going to waste any time like the NFL does, but I think you guys will all know this. He's got a famous quote. He's lean, he's mean, he's a hugging machine. He's a co-host of Wake Up, Danny Tanner, Full House.
Not where I thought that was going, but I like it. I love it.
I had the right decade.
The single dad teaser.
Yeah, I had the right decade.
Yeah, Greg called that one with the single dad there.
There you go.
Very nice. All right, so Danny Tanner of Full House, and I'm guessing he was on Fuller House as well, too. Edgar, right? You know that?
He got some cameos. That's about it.
Okay. All right. So Danny Tanner first off the board. The floor now goes to Greg with pick number 2.
All right, so I'm going.
Crossing him off already. I know what's coming.
I got to go with this one. This is number 1 on my board, number 1 in my heart. Uncle Phil.
Yep. Yep.
Judge Philip Banks, played by James Avery. Just a phenomenal TV dad, and I mean, better known for being an uncle, but he's basically a dad to Will. And that scene that they always play with the episode when Will's dad comes back and then leaves.
I always seem to be cutting onions every time that scene comes on. It's crazy. It's so coincidental.
It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable scene for both of the characters. But yeah, just love Uncle Phil.
I love the scene where him and Carlton get hustled playing pool, and they bring Phil back, and he's like, "Break out Lucille."
So good. I mean, he can go all directions. He can go ass, really funny, and then like super, empathetic too. So yeah,
my favorite scene is when he's tossing Jazz out of the house.
That too.
I think kind of like on a serious note too with him is like, us, and Doug's a little bit younger than us, so I don't want to speak for him, but like Edgar, Greg, and Brett and I are all sort of the same generation here. And us as 4 white guys who grew up and really loved that show, that speaks to that show's strength too, and those characters, that could, speak to us as well. Not just, it wasn't just for a certain audience, it was for everybody. So I think that's a great pick. And I don't think, I think Uncle Phil, you're getting great value there at number 2 overall.
I would absolutely say that for sure.
All right.
Yeah, I had him on number 1 on my list too. And
what the surprise. All right.
You guys being 5 or 6 years older than me, I thought maybe he'd be at the top of your list too. So I didn't think he'd fall to wherever I was. I watched him more like on Nick at Night, not when that show was out, brand new. But yeah, he would have been my number 1 too. That was a good pick.
All right. Well, Doug, the stage is to you now. You got pick number 3 overall.
All right. So since he got taken, I'm gonna skip over my number 2 pick, and I'm gonna go with number 3 on my list. My daughter would be disappointed if I didn't go with this one. We've been watching as a family, like before the kids go to bed each night. We've been watching the Brady Bunch. So I'm gonna go with Mike Brady as my first pick here, number 3 overall.
Okay.
One of the earlier episodes, even he was Marsha nominated him for Father of the Year on that episode. So I feel like I got to go with a good dad as my first pick because I got some other ones that might take that down.
Yeah, I like that.
No, it's that wholesome classic kind of dad feel. This, as stereotypical as it is, but it's great. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I think when you think of like sitcoms and TV shows, the Brady Bunch has to be like one of the first ones that comes to mind, no matter what generation you're in. So that's so we got Danny Tanner, Uncle Phil, and Mike Brady off the board. Franklin, to you with pick number 4.
I am literally going the exact opposite end of the spectrum. And I think Greg knows where I'm going. He's already smiling. I'm going Frank Costanza.
Okay.
Seinfeld, because he's just an asshole. He's
so good though.
All right.
He's so good.
R.I.P. Jerry Stiller. That's a good pick. Invented Festivus for the record.
Yeah.
So many good lines.
So
the guy bats it. He's not in that many episodes.
No, and actually
he literally bats 1,000 when he's on the show.
The funny thing is Frank was a different character in the 3rd season. and they came back with Jerry Stiller afterwards, after that third season. I think it was the third season, and they re-recorded those scenes with Jerry instead. So if you can catch I think on the DVDs or something, you can catch the old dad, specifically the one where they parked in the handicap spot. That was the first one where George's dad came into play.
Okay. All right.
I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I think he only appeared in 9 episodes.
It's a small number, because I remember when he died, I was shocked at how few. But
yeah, but it was mostly
the most like 5 or 6 of the 9 are like the most iconic episodes. I mean, Festivus, Ass Man, the bro. It's just
the one where Elaine took him to the Korean nail salon.
Yep. The one where he cooks, like
nobody stops short.
Yeah. Oh God, just incredible.
All right. Well, I'm gonna round out the first round here. I got pick number 5, and I'm gonna pull the trigger right away. He's been drafted in multiple drafts now, but I'm going with Ed O'Neill as. I get to double dip on this one, kind of, because I can. You guys tell me what you think. I know I'm running the show here, but can I pick both of the guys for the one character, or does it?
We're picking the actual characters.
Yeah, I think we're picking the characters.
Yeah.
So.
I just I didn't want to go just semantics on that. So I'm gonna go then. Out of those two, I'm gonna go Al Bundy. Not the greatest dad, but freaking. I mean, when you think of TV shows in the early 90s, Married with Children, one of the longest running sitcoms on TV. Again, Al Bundy, not the greatest dad, but hey, keeps a roof over their head. Former great high school football player from Youngstown, Ohio.
Hawkeye.
Sells women's shoes. You name it.
The great shoe.
Hey, this is the second time, though, he was taken in the first round of a draft.
That is great. Yes, very, very true. Very true. He's a well-rounded actor. So I'm going to go Al Bundy then, first pick. So rounding out the first round, Danny Tanner, Uncle Phil, Mike Brady, Frank Costanza, and Al Bundy. So that means we're going to go reverse order on the round 2. So I'm going to start round 2 with pick number 6. And this is also not, I actually think he's a very good father in this movie, or I'm sorry, in this TV show. One of probably my favorite series of all time. Very dramatic, very hardcore. But I'm going with Bryan Cranston as Walter White from Breaking Bad. Obviously he battled cancer, but everything he did, at least at first, was to earn money for his family, and then he just turned into this savage.
Well, what's really great about that too is if I remember correctly, that show, even it went 5 seasons, but the timeline was a single year.
Yes.
And so, I mean, he went off the deep end quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, but you're not going to find, especially a show that's not on HBO or Showtime, like a more epic show than that, with
for sure
twists and turns and violence and drama and all that stuff. So just a great show in general, but Walter White, just an amazing character, played by a great actor. So, and my favorite scene that he does is when him and his wife, spoiler alert, split up and stuff, and he tries to make amends and brings a pizza over, and she the first take lands flat smack dab on the roof. So that's one of my favorite scenes in TV history right there. So Walter White to start round 2. Franklin, you are up for pick number 7.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little nostalgia for us here. I had him he's number 4 on my list. So I think I've got pretty good value here. I'm busting out Chicago's own Carl Winslow.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
That was such a great show. And he was in in a different context, but in the same way, a great dad like Uncle Phil. Like, and it was one of those shows that like related, that we could relate to as well, even though, again, as you said, 4 white guys from the suburbs, like it showed like he was just a great dad. And he, even as much as, you know, he picked on Urkel or Urkel from SNL, or on light Urkel. But yeah, he still cared for him and showed like he was just a genuinely good father.
Yeah.
And there was an episode just like Fresh Prince where Eddie got pulled over, a white suburban Chicago town, and you know, he got pulled over just because he's black, and his father didn't believe him at first. He had to go prove that his son was telling the truth. Just in, you know, one of those iconic, strong episodes.
Yeah, actually, when you say that, there was an episode like that with Fresh Prince too, and I believe in the same way there was one with the pool as well. But I think it was grandmother who came and bailed him out, as opposed to the dad.
Okay. Right.
Shout out to Grandma. Man. If there's ever a grandma draft.
He would have been a Mon, man. We missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, that's true. That was a miss.
Stay is like in October. We'll save her. She's going to be an early round selection. But Carl Winslow, played by Reginald Vell Johnson. Also, by the way, he played in Die Hard. Great character there. So good pick there, Brett. So Doug, you are up with pick number 8.
All right, now that I got my Father of the Year style dad with my first pick, I'm going to go the opposite now with my next pick. And this one actually is number 8 on my list. I'm skipping over my number 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 still to go here. But after Brett's pick, I'm afraid he might not last longer. I'm going with Arthur Spooner from The King of Queens.
Okay.
He's not a good dad at all. Nope. He's probably my favorite character out of everybody on my list.
That's good. I didn't even have him on my list, and I completely overlooked him. But another Jerry Stiller reference here.
Yeah. Wow, 2 Jerry Stillers in like 7 picks.
Very, very good. All right, Greg, you are up now. Pick number 9.
All right, so I'm gonna go with you know, I think we touched on this in the Mom episode. One of I think a lot of our favorite shows, again, right in our wheelhouse. I'm going with Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement.
It's a good one.
Yeah, just you know, he's just a great character. You know, maybe not the maybe didn't put his kids in the safest situations all the time with some of his antics, but you know, ultimately he was great at always kind of fix. He created a lot of problems, but he always found a way to fix them with a little help from Wilson, little wisdom from Wilson. But just love that show, and that was right in Tim Allen's wheelhouse. And yeah.
Yeah. Still, we talked about Jill on Mother's Day. The show is just fantastic. I still watch it on the Laugh channel. It's great.
The couple little known facts though about him. Do you know his actual name?
I do not.
I actually do. Yeah.
His actual name is Tim Dick. And he changed.
It's good move. Good move.
Yeah.
Good move. Was that before or after the cocaine arrest?
I think it's his middle name. I think is Allen, so it's like Timothy Allen Dick. So,
yeah.
Some
people, based on his,
they took care of that on the first audition. I'm Tim Dick. They're like, no, you're not.
Here, buddy. But great character though. All right, so Tim the Toolman Taylor, pick number 9. Edgar, you're gonna round out now. Pick number with pick number 10, round out round 2.
I'm gonna go with a guy who you guys probably all know. He's a former St. Louis Cardinal. He's got a famous line. Hey, yo, way. Tony Maselli, who's the boss.
That was who I thought Ed would take first. That's who I thought.
Edgar, you need to be on every one of these. I love this. All right.
You know what's funny though? He's on my list, but I didn't put Tony Maselli. I just put Tony Danza.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here, but I've heard rumors about Tony Danza's past that I don't know if they're true or false, but there's an urban legend about Tony Danza and a prior history in another sort of film industry, which I don't know is true or false. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If anybody's got any more notes on that.
Well, maybe that's why he was relegated to I think straight to VHS of Major League 3, back to the minors.
Oh, okay. I just heard or
Angels in the outfield.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Yeah, he was
story.
Another guy that was we talked about in our baseball draft, our fictional baseball draft. All right. So I'm not going to say any more about what I'll just let you guys Google it. So you can go.
Him and Tim Dick apparently may have been friends. Not just end of the second round. We are off the rails.
Boy, here we go. Here we go.
All right, so guys, we're going to make 5 more picks, and then we're going to take a quick break to probably gather ourselves and collect our thoughts here. But so Edgar, you're going to start off round 3 with pick number 11 overall.
I'm going to go with a father who he wasn't a great father in this show, but he meant well for his kids, and I'm going to go with Johnny Rose from Schitt's Creek.
Nice. I actually think he's a pretty good dad. Like I actually do. You know, I'm only 2 seasons in, but I think he's a pretty good dad. Like at least he tries. You know,
he tries.
But yeah, Eugene Levy. That's hard to go wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
Got the eyebrows. Also, Jim's dad in American Wedding.
Yep.
Nice here. So, among other things. So yeah, great pick there, Edgar. All right, Greg, pick number 12 overall.
Oh boy. Okay. Still a lot out there, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ray Barone. If everybody loves Raymond. You know, again, just really sticking with shows that are just really, really good and enjoyable, and good characters. And he's good dad, good guy, good husband, and it's just again a fantastic character.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know why that's in there. It's just a good show.
Yeah.
It's Paul Rudd reference.
Yep.
Well played.
Oh man, Franklin dropped it. Yeah, I love
it's vacation time, so it's great.
40-year-old virgin reference there for anyone that doesn't know. So, well done. All right, Doug, you are up for your 3rd pick, number 13 overall.
All right. Well, I think I'm getting some good value on this one. This is the pick I passed over on my 1st overall pick. This is number 2 on my list. Another good dad, but just hilarious on the show. I'm going with Phil Dunphy from Modern Family.
Yeah, he was coming up on mine too. It's a good pick.
Yeah, I knew he probably wouldn't make it to my next pick if I didn't take him here.
Ray Barone or Phil Dunphy were my next 2 selections.
Okay.
So yeah, two great quality picks there. I think I took his wife in the show 1st overall in our draft, in our mom's draft. So or at least my 1st overall pick after Sophia Petrella, I believe. So Very good pick. Phil Dunphy. You can't go wrong with Modern Family. All the characters are great in that show.
Hey, real quick, like the 5 or 6 years difference in our ages here makes a big difference, because I have some of the guys on, Uncle Phil and some of those guys on my list, but in our first 13 picks here, including the 3 picks I made, only 8 of my 40 picks only 8 of the 13 picks have been made so far were on my list of 40.
Okay. You need to watch better TV, Doug.
You guys have picked some that I haven't even, or didn't even have on my list.
Start watching better TV, Doug. That's all I say.
No, I like the different demographics, and
Absolutely.
that's important. All right, Brett, let's see what you got. Pick number 14, your third pick over.
You know what? I got a bunch listed here, but this is, I think, my number 5 overall, so I'm going to kind of stick to my list. Greg, I had him rated higher. I'm just going to say it. I'm going Frank Barone.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think he's just freaking hilarious. His snark is just top notch through the whole entire show. But I actually think I know you've got the 2 guys, they're a little messy, but I think he actually was a good dad. He kept them in line. He kept them. He did what he had to do. I just think he was a good dad.
Agreed. Yeah, that's a solid pick. I always like how they they play him as kind of like the tough guy that like just has the one-liners, but he does have like some like sweet moments in that show. Where really, like you said, just a really good dad. All right, so I'm gonna make the last pick of round 3. We're gonna take a quick break after that, then we'll come back and finish the final 3 rounds. Oh man, there's so many
good ones still
there. Like we can go so many different ways too. You can go. I'm just gonna pull the trigger on it. I think Greg had this same problem in the Mother's Day draft, and now this is even more of a problem taking this guy. But this show basically has been written off and canceled. But it was epic in the 80s and even into the early 90s and 2000s. But for his discretions as a human, as a person, he was a great actor and honestly a fantastic dad on the show. But I gotta go with Bill Cosby, Cliff Huxtable in the Cosby Show. I think if the off the screen stuff didn't happen, he's a first round draft pick, no doubt. But he's got the it's sort of like, and in no way am I comparing like is any of that acceptable, but it almost is like a Deshaun Watson situation if you think about it. Like Deshaun Watson, if you're thinking about a quarterback, like he might be a top 2 or 3 quarterback overall, but now you're looking at him like you can't touch him. He's bad news. So I don't want to bring the podcast down with Bill Cosby, but I think if you just rewatch that show and just like even pick a show, any show, it's a great show with great characters and portrays, again, at that time African Americans were not portrayed in a positive light on TV. And sort of Cosby Show broke the mold for shows like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and shows, that we have on TV now. So in a way, I think Bill Cosby did some good with that. Obviously off, whatever discretions he's had off the screen, will impact his legacy. But just pure show and pure dad alone, I gotta go. I'm gonna take that pick right there. So
I was wondering. Go ahead, Ed.
And he directed A Different World.
Oh,
interesting. Okay, and just from a pure comic perspective, if you ever see that show, the opening credits and like, the shit after
yeah,
it's just comedic.
I will say he was on my do not draft list.
It's tough. I was literally like I have him up. I have him there, like kind of just waiting for the right time. But yeah,
I'm with you there, Justin. It's, you
Yeah.
take that stuff aside, and he's a top 2 pick, easy.
Definitely number 1 in the pudding pop draft.
Same as a dad who's a ghost. He's the number 1 pick in that world too.
I totally forgot about that.
All right,
And all the
most of America has forgotten about that.
and all the fat Alberts up there.
real quick to review the 3rd round picks. Johnny Rose at 11, Ray Barone at 12, Phil Dunphy at 13, Frank Barone at 14, and Bill Cosby at 15. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll get started with rounds 4, 5, and 6. So,
all right, we're back. So that was the first half of our TV Dads draft. So Joe,
Yes.
I know you've been working hard back there. So I did give you a little homework assignment.
Yes.
Do you have one or two you could?
I did. I looked up one that I liked, and I actually used this one the other day.
Okay.
I was working with my kids with Ryan's homework, and
okay.
Hold on, give me a second. Okay, dear math, grow up and solve your own problems.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good
Straight from the Googler.
That's a good teacher joke too.
Yes.
All right. So I got 4 more.
All right.
And these were some I looked up, some were shared. So, did you hear about the kidnapping at school?
No.
Well, it's all right because he woke up. So. Really lame but funny. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd like to say RIP to boiled water. You will be missed. And then finally, we got a lot of good science and math type ones in here today. And finally, if you want to tell dad jokes, but you don't have any kids, that's okay. You can still do that. You're just it's just a faux pas. So I thought those were all pretty good. I appreciate people sending me some. And the U2 one though that somebody sent in the other day, I thought was still really good. You know, Bono and The Edge walk into a bar. Bartender looks up and says, "Not you two again." You know, that's just really, really good. So,
I thought of you yesterday. My sneakers were getting kind of old, and I went and looked at New Balance. And the whole time I'm looking at New Balance, I'm like, I can't, because this will be like qualified for dad forever.
You gotta, if you get those though, you have to cut the grass with a push mower and get them like nice and green too.
Yeah, in cargo pants.
Yeah, in cargo shorts or pants, and the old school like Walkman headphone, and probably some sort of like high school football t-shirt or some sort of t-shirt that you wore like 30 years ago too. So
do you remember the t-shirts that used to I was digging up some old clothes and some pictures of some old clothes. There was some ridiculously funny apparel that was worn. I hate to derail your show on something like this.
I love it.
Do you remember there was one that was making like sexual references, poker in the front?
Oh, it was
what the
Big
heck?
Johnson.
Yes, Big Johnson.
Yep.
Big Johnson's Casino.
I actually bought one, and I can tell this because it's an innuendo, but it's not. It sounds
strictly,
yeah. So I bought this in Myrtle Beach. Like, we used to go down to Myrtle Beach when I was younger. And, they would have all those like Wings and whatever type stores those were, but they would sell No Fear and Big Johnson shirts in there. So I just bought one. I was probably 12 years old. No one, they were on the other side of the store doing their stuff. So I just bought the shirt, and on the back, there's like two animals, and they got their fists up like this. And the one is a cat, and it's got its fists up like this, and the other one's a chicken. And so the cat is calling the chicken a chicken, and the chicken saying, "Come on, pussy." So I just thought that was pretty good. My mom made me take it back. So
did she really?
Yeah, she did. That's okay. That's probably good parenting, though.
I thought maybe you were going to get in trouble like 40 years later, and now you're toast.
I did one time in high school. We went to a Pittsburgh Penguins hockey game, and they used to have like there used to be this commercial, and somebody out there might remember this. It would go like doobie doobie doo, and it was like penguins that would sell like beer. It was like Bud Ice or something like that. It was some, I don't know if it's even around still, but I think they were just giving them away at the Penguins game. So I wore it to, I was probably like a sophomore in high school. So I wore it, and I did have to like flip it inside out.
Made it be
for
a
the rest of the
reference,
day,
yeah.
because it would have, which totally understands. I totally understand, but that's part of what you got to do. So, you got any more? Or should we move on?
No,
with our
we'll
dad's
move on
draft?
from that,
All
or
right.
else it'll degrade pretty quick.
So let's. We're gonna go now to the second half of our dad's drafts. So these are picks 16 through 30. We also throw in some honorable mentions here. So first 15 round, or the first 15 picks are complete. 16 through 30 are coming up, and there's some really good, entertaining ones. Joe, I'm gonna play this. If it's not the right one, just let me know.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Oh.
Is that all right?
All right, we
Three of
are
you?
back for
Yep.
the second half of the
Four,
draft.
five.
Same guys joining me. We're gonna do rounds 4, 5, and 6. So, just real quick recap: Danny Tanner, Uncle Phil, Mike Brady, Frank Costanza,
Perfect.
Al Bundy, Walter White, Carl Winslow, Arthur Spooner, Tim Taylor, Tony Maselli, Johnny Rose, Ray Barone, Phil Dunphy, Frank Barone, and Bill Cosby, all off the board. We have picks 16 through 30. So I'm going to actually start round 4 with pick 16 overall. I've had a little bit of time to think about this, and the more time I've had to think about it, the more I'm having a little bit of trouble with it. But, Brett, I don't think we've taken a cartoon yet, have we?
We have not.
All right.
I think I know where you're going here.
I'm pulling the trigger on it. I took Lois Griffin in the mom's draft, so I'm going to go with Peter Griffin, voiced by Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy.
That's not the route I thought you'd go, but that's good.
The other one, I think you probably might have been thinking. I haven't seen that show in like 10 years, so
okay,
so
makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
relevant to me.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
I mean, let's be really real, though. He's about as bad of a dad as you can find on this list.
Yes.
I mean, he punched his daughter in the face. Throwing that out there.
So, but that's just a fantastic show. It's kind of like everybody loves Raymond,
Yeah.
All right. So you're going pick 17 here.
So I'm looking down the road, and he's a little bit further down my list here, but I'm pretty sure he ain't coming back to me because of the person who's picking behind me and then getting in front of me next time around. And I've already got 2 guys who are a little off kilter with Frank Costanza and obviously Frank Barone. So apparently that guy's named Frank. But on this one, we're going to go Dwight Schrute.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm keeping the crazy going. We got a theme. Let's just roll with it.
I love it. The secret dad. And Greg, I don't know. Greg didn't know Pam was a mom yet in the Mother's Day episode.
That's his own damn fault.
I was just gonna say we've entered the episode or the segment of our episode where Greg's only watched 5 seasons of The Office and has no idea that.
Do not care.
Dad. I don't know if I can watch the show now. It's
Doesn't know who the baby's with though. So
he also
That is
sees
true.
dead people. Just FYI.
Yeah. Hey, Brett, that's my favorite show.
Uh,
I actually don't have anybody from The Office on my list, only because nobody's primary role on the show is a dad.
Yeah.
So I didn't include any of them, but I did have them on there at first, and I took a couple of them off. But
that is a good point, though. It's not necessarily primarily, but that to me though, it was like he's still a dad. Yeah, he's still a dad.
Yeah.
And then spoiler alert, he's not Pam's husband.
I got,
But is it Pam's?
far enough. I got far enough.
Greg, it could be Pam's sister. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Didn't know Pam had a sister.
Or
He's got 2 sisters.
Pam's cousin from the wedding.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he hasn't seen the wedding yet?
No, he hasn't gotten that far.
Oh.
All right. Let's move on to Doug with the Dunder Mifflin shirt on.
All right.
Your fourth pick.
So my next pick here, I'm skipping still. I have 4, 5, 6, 7 left on my list. I'm going to skip and take my 6th pick. And Brett, I thought this is where you were going based on what you said on that last pick there. Just because you know some of the interests that I have, but I'm going to go more unique with this one than what anybody has picked so far. I'm going to go with Vision from WandaVision.
Vision.
I like it.
Okay, so
I think
I like it.
if I remember right, I'm pretty sure it all happened in one day's time that Wanda became pregnant and had the babies all in one day, and they were
all
prepared.
Well, at least one
prepared for the
episode.
babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never heard it.
Stop right there.
Yeah, I never heard it.
I like it. I wasn't even, not even on the list. I wasn't even thinking that route, but that's a great pick.
Too recent for me. I haven't seen the show, so I do have Disney Plus, but have not seen that show yet.
Yeah, it'd be worth watching. It's a good one.
Okay.
It's with a Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's sister.
Okay.
That's Wanda.
It's not like in the Star Wars realm, is it?
No,
it's Marvel.
Okay, Marvel. Okay, all right. And you don't have to like have any backstory or know anything. You can just watch it fresh.
And with this show, yeah, actually, you can. I feel like you can pretty much pop in.
Okay.
There's actually, hey Justin, if you were going to watch it, there's another, I don't know, show or something that's on there that they'll kind of do like a little, I don't know, 3-minute rundown or whatever of the characters. So they have like a little 3-minute thing of Wanda and like a 3-minute thing of Vision on there.
Okay.
That kind of just gives you like the backstory of what happened with them in the movies.
Okay. All right.
But I don't think you'd even need them.
All right. Good to know. All right, Greg. I see Greg like contemplating his next pick.
I am.
We're going to Greg at pick number 19 here.
All right. It's interesting. I think there's been a lot of like parallels where I think people have picked certain mom characters and then certain of the same, dad characters from the same show. And I'm actually going to do that right now, just because I feel like this is one of the great all-time television characters. Again, to Doug's point, definitely not. His primary role was not a dad on the show, but we got to give a shout out to Tony Soprano, played by James Gandolfini. There's not much to really, I feel like it's like the Ray Barone pick. There's not much to really say here. This is just an incredible show, an incredible character. Happened to be a dad, not the best dad, not the best husband, but an absolutely incredible television character.
I have heard there is a prequel movie coming out this year for The Sopranos. I don't know what it's called. I don't know when it comes out, but I have heard there's a prequel movie coming out this year. So
wow,
that should be.
I wonder how they do that. Isn't he passed?
Yeah, so it must be like must be
really young. Yeah.
Yeah. Greg, even though that's not his main role in the show, family's still a main storyline in that show. So that meets the requirements that I made my list with.
Very true.
That's good. All right, very good. Tony Soprano with pick number 19. Mr. Moscow, you are up for your fourth pick at number 20.
Wait, does he have 3 80s picks already?
Well, it's Edgar has Danny Tanner.
Yep.
Tony Maselli.
Yep.
Johnny Rose. Johnny Rose is current.
Yep. Johnny Rose. Damn it, Ed. Go. Got it.
And a Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah. I might surprise you guys with this one, but I'm going a more generational pick. One that I actually grew up watching, but it was based in the 60s. Archie Bunker.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Archie Bunker.
Ed, I love surprises.
I mean, he wasn't a great father. He's kind of a jackass.
He was the dick. He was the first one, really, when you think about it.
The stuff that's said on TV back then, you cannot stay on TV today.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
He's one of the greatest actors in his time.
But at least even in that context, there was a purpose for it. So
I just love when he called son-in-law meathead.
I believe his name, did he go by like Carol O'Connor?
That's his name, yeah.
Okay. So, or John Carroll O'Connor. So, is that all in the family?
Yes.
All in the family, yep.
Okay. All right, very good. So Archie Bunker off the board with pick 20. Let's real quick review round 4. Peter Griffin, Dwight Schrute, Vision. Is that correct? Did I say that correct, Doug? All right. Tony Soprano and Archie Bunker. Edgar, you're going to lead off round 5 with pick number 21.
Well, after looking at my list, I think I could use a little bit more diversity. I'm going to go with Jack Geller from Friends.
Ooh. Jack Geller.
It's just fun. I didn't think he meant Jewish. That's not what I thought he meant by diversity. I thought he meant like a different race. I just.
Oh man! So Jack Geller, I think of him from like Ocean's 11, right?
Yeah.
Character, right?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
That guy is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Did he? I don't know. I'm trying to remember now. Like what was the diversity you were going with there?
Just eras, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's
okay. Because one of the, and I'm struggling with like I apologize if I'm not using the proper terminology for what it was, but wasn't one of their parents? I think it was Chandler though. It was Chandler's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was. Okay.
Boy, that was a bet. Oh, we almost made it. We almost made it without saying it.
I was trying to dance around it because I really
you did well.
Because I really don't remember the context. I don't want to misclassify what it was, but that's what I originally thought of when you said that. But gotcha.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Jack Geller off the board. A surprise pick there. I like it. So 2022 now goes to Greg with his 5th pick.
All right. Well, this is I'm gonna go nostalgic on this one, I think, and I've not necessarily watched a ton of the show, but this is if you're just going with a great dad and a great character, historic character, I'm gonna go with Andy Taylor from the Andy Griffith Show, played by Andy Griffith.
You stole my pick, Greg.
That's where I thought you were going when you took.
Well, there was 3.
How did he steal your pick when you're 9 picks away from picking?
You just had 2 picks.
You just had 2 of them.
I thought he might have fell to my last pick.
But Jack Geller had to come off the board right now.
Even though nobody had Jack Geller on their list, he had to come off the board.
Saved him for an honorable mention. Oh man, that's funny. I hope my internet's sticking with me. It looks like you guys are frozen up, but we're going to hold on one second. All right, we're back. Doug, you are pick number 23 of your 5th round pick. So you have the floor.
All right, I'm a little thrown off now. I thought I was going to get Andy Griffith with this pick here. All right, I'm going to go back. This is actually number 5 on my list here. I'm going to go with Eric Taylor from Friday Night Lights.
Good one.
I know, like being a football coach on the show, he probably wasn't with his own family as much as a lot of these other dads are. But still a good dad, and then also was a really good father figure to a lot of those football players on the show, and just a really good character on that show.
Okay.
I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. Yeah, Connie Britton went in the Mother's Day draft, so that's another duo that's off the board. So Eric Taylor, Friday Night Lights. I'm guessing he'd be a better father than Billy Bob Thornton, just off the top of my head from Friday Night Lights, the movie. No, just hypothetically speaking. So we are going to move over to Brett. You have pick number 24, your 5th overall.
Yeah, you know what? There's part of me wants to go nostalgia, but part of me just wants to keep going off my list. So I'm going to keep going off the list. I'm going to go Marshall Erickson from How I Met Your Mother. So same capacity, not father's not his typical thing, but damn it, he was a good dad once they had that child.
Okay. All right. Love it. Yeah, that's just another good show. Just a quality show. All right. I'm actually going to be the first one to finish off my draft. So I have the next 2 picks. So I'm going to round out round 5 here, and then I'll recap the 5th round. So my next pick, I'm looking at my locker room, kind of like Greg with his Mother's Day draft. I'm looking at my locker room. I got Al Bundy, Walter White, Bill Cosby, and Peter Griffin right now in there. So
oh God, you are all over the place.
I got some freaking characters in there.
You gotta own it in.
So I am going to I'm going to go with an HBO series here. One of my favorite HBO series, probably my favorite show of all time. But I'm going with Game of Thrones. One of he was only around for spoiler alert. Fast forward about 15 seconds if you haven't seen the Game of Thrones yet. All right, 15 seconds. That's close enough. I am going with Richard Jenkins. Or I'm sorry, no. Sorry. Sean Bean is the character's name. Was also in National Treasure. But he plays the character Ned Stark in Game of Thrones. He only sticks around 9 episodes until, he unfortunately is not around too long. But that he sort of brings, like, his character is all about honor. He wants to bring honor to his family, honor to the kingdom sort of that he runs. And again, just even takes in a son that's not his. Spoiler alert. You'll find that out later in the show as well. So Ned Stark, I think, is just a great character, a great dad in that show, and I'm gonna go with him with my 5th round pick. So to recap round 5, this guy got off the board to Edgar. He had to snag him up at pick 21, but Jack Geller gone. Very diverse pick off the board. And Andy Taylor, also known as Andy Griffith, off the board with pick 22. Eric Taylor, pick 23. Marshall Erickson at 24, and Ned Stark at 25. So I'm going to finish my draft here with pick number 26. Oh man, so many good ones. I'm kind of all over the board here. So man, this is tough because I guess I'm going to have a lot of honorable mentions, but we'll see. But I am going to go with, I'm going to go with a classic TV dad, a show I haven't seen a ton of, but I know the character was also lived right next door, or eventually moved in maybe to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's house. I can't remember, but I'm going to go with Sherman Hensley as George Jefferson from the Jeffersons. Kind of clean up the locker room a little bit. He'll keep Bill Cosby in check.
Oh, he's keeping everybody in line.
So I'm going to go with George Jefferson as my final pick from the Jeffersons.
That's a great pick.
I think that's just good value at this pick. It's like the Browns also had 26. They waited.
Yeah.
Draft got JOK, but
I mean, you actually got the pinnacle of all of the draft picks here because he is a guy that qualifies for like 5 different shows.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, George Jefferson was literally at least in 4. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's a good point. So yeah, I guess I'm getting good value there.
You're getting good value for a late round pick.
All right, Brett. So over to you with your final pick, 27.
Yeah. So I mean, I had guys who were a little off kilter with the start and these last 2 picks. With Marshall, calm and cool. This next one, he's pretty even keeled, and I got to get a cartoon going on here. So I drafted his wife. I'm going Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
Okay. Not the cartoon I thought you were going with either.
Oh, I know, but I prefer this cartoon.
Okay. All right. Very good. I like it. All right. Bob Belcher. Belch is just such a gross word. I'll just put that out there. I guess they had the ER to it. Didn't there used to be a pitcher named Tim Belcher?
Yeah.
Remember, he was pretty decent back in the 80s. All right.
Yeah.
So random.
Probably wound up on someone's draft.
Exactly. All right. So Bob Belcher to Brett with pick 27. Doug, you are up for your final pick at pick 28.
All right. So I have this guy that I'm going to pick is number 22 on my list, and I actually have 13 guys left before him still on my list.
Wow.
But I'm gonna go a little bit different on this one. So this is a character who I like in everything that he's in. He's a comic character. He's been in movies, TV show, and he's awesome in everything. Not actually a dad, but definitely a father figure. I'm gonna go with Alfred Pennyworth from Gotham.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that.
It's a twist.
I actually don't really like that show that much. But his character's awesome in that, just like he is in all the movies that he's in, and yeah, I think just a really good character and very good father figure.
We're gonna consult the judges on that and just make sure that are we okay with a non safe? Okay.
I think I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I mean, in essence, actually, he may not have been adopted, but he raised them.
That's,
Right.
that's a good point. All right. Very, very true. Very true.
Who's your favorite Alfred?
I really like Michael Caine just as an actor, and
Michael Caine's just amazing. Just
he's my favorite Alfred.
Yeah.
But the guy who played him in that show, though, he was a good character on there too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Michael Caine is my favorite.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. So Alfred Pennyworth off the board at 28. 29. Greg, you're going to make your final pick here.
Okay, so this is a little bit maybe off the radar. Although I'm trying to figure out, Franklin, if he's behind your left shoulder. I can't tell, but we'll figure this out. I think it is him actually. But just going to a show that I loved growing up, The Wonder Years.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's Jack Arnold, the dad on The Wonder Years. What I like about him is he was kind of a realistic dad. I mean, he was kind of a grump, kind of a curmudgeon.
Nice word.
Yeah, but
it's the toilet paper day.
but
Word of the day on the toilet paper. It's just what we do.
Yeah, but I think he was real. You know, he was real, and he had his moments, his softer moments. But again, you see a lot of dads sort of portrayed as, you know, in a lot of different ways, but this one felt fairly realistic to just kind of like a Midwestern kind of grumpy guy who maybe not everything worked out in his life the way he wanted it to, but you know, so it was Dane Lauria is the guy's name. Great character, great show.
Awesome. All right, very good. So Jack Arnold at pick 29. This next guy started the draft, and he's going to end the draft here. The official part of the draft. So, Edgar, you have pick number 30 and your 6th pick overall.
I want to go with. I can't pick 2, but
you'll get the free agent signing.
I mean, there's two guys that are pretty nostalgic that I want to take, but I'm going to take a guy who's I thought was pretty hilarious and probably the best one-liners I could think of, and that's Red Foreman from that '70s show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ed, he was actually going to be on my honorable mentions list. So good call.
Okay. All right. Very good.
I'm still struggling with the fact that you have two guys you want to pick with the last pick, but A.D. Griffith was also stolen. But I don't.
This is why he has to be on more of these drafts. He brings the comedic relief.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Instead of just recapping round 6, let me just recap round 4, 5, and 6. So Peter Griffin, Dwight Schrute, Vision, Tony Soprano, Archie Bunker, Jack Geller, Andy Taylor, Eric Taylor, Marshall Erickson, Ned Stark, George Jefferson, Bob Belcher, Alfred Pennyworth, Jack Arnold, and Red Foreman. So 30 picks. Some guys that I definitely wanted to draft are still out there. So I'll tell you what, let's just do this. No descriptions, nothing else. Give me one honorable mention. So we'll just go in the same order. So Edgar, give me one honorable mention. So give me the other guy you really wanted there.
Jason Seaver.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's who I thought Ed was going to take there.
Okay. All right.
Dr. Jason Seaver.
Doctor. Yeah, correct.
Get it right, Ed.
Greg, who'd be your I guess next?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Dan Connor.
Okay. All right, Seaver. What about you, Doug?
Yes, I mean, same thing as Greg. I have more than half my list is still available, but the highest rated dad, Adam Braverman from Parenthood.
Okay.
He'd be another one that just really good dad.
That's a show I have not seen, so I can't comment on, but I hear people really like that show. So
yeah, that's a good one.
Brett, you got one?
Yeah. I started off with a couple old guys. I'm going to add another one here. Martin Crane, Frasier.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a real good pull there. Martin Crane. All right. I am going to real quick. I know I said don't elaborate on this, but Bree, who was going to be on our show tonight, couldn't do it. And actually, her and I agreed 100% on. I didn't end up drafting this dad, but I want to give this dad, especially if you have kids. I mean, my daughter is 2 years old, and she freaking loves this show. And I would say kids all the way up to maybe like even 3rd or 4th or 5th grade might enjoy this show. It is called Bluey, and it's on Nickelodeon, but it's on like Disney Plus and stuff. The dad is they call him just Bluey's dad in the show, but his name is Bandit. I want to highly recommend that show to anybody out there watching. It's like one of those, it's like a kid's show, but it really connects with the adults because he'll like get kicked in the friggin' dog nuts and he'll be like, cheese and biscuits.
Ed, we need a book report. next draft.
And he's just like drinking beer in the show and stuff, but he's like literally a quality, like it's a quality father figure as a cartoon. So, but I thought that one was good. So I guess just I'll give everybody 2 more each if you want. So 2 more honorable mentions each, and you can do them both at the same time. So we'll go. I'll just go first, reverse order on this round. So my I guess couple others that I had down. This guy just passed away recently, and I thought he was phenomenal in everything he did. He never
baby.
No. He never played a main character, but he was always a great like comedic side actor. Fred Willard. He was in Everybody Loves Raymond. He was in Modern Family. He did a bunch of other
random stuff. He was in American
Anchorman
way back when.
Yeah.
So
he was an Anchorman too.
Yeah, Anchorman.
Yeah.
So I just freaking love that guy, and like his personality is like someone like I think anybody can connect with. So I'm gonna go with him. And then the other guy I'm gonna go with also played the dad in Step Brothers, but there is an excellent HBO show. But I said we got to stick to TV shows. He was the father in a show called 6 Feet Under on HBO, and his name is Richard Jenkins, but he plays Nathaniel Fisher on that 6 Feet Under. If you have not seen that show, I would highly put that on your top of your list as one of the best shows, series of all time. So, and
if you like the Cheesecake Factory, he highly recommends that too.
and he'll remind you to never lose your dinosaur. So, all right, we got to go kind of quick here. We got about 4 minutes left. So, Brett, I'm going to go to you.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Stephen Keaton, Family Ties.
Nice.
And I'm going to go a little bit more newish here, pun intended. Andre Johnson from Blackish.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Who would that be next? Greg? No, Doug. Sorry, Doug, you are up.
All right. The next two that I had on my list that were still available, George Cooper from Young Sheldon.
Okay.
And Jay Pritchett from Modern Family.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I thought I got him in the first round with my Al Bundy pick too. So
yeah,
that was a good rule though. Only one character. All right. So Greg, you got a couple honorable mentions.
Okay. My two have something in common, and Moscow's got to guess what it is, and it shouldn't be too hard. And I don't know why Moscow didn't make this pick either, but I'm going to go with Frank Lambert from Step by Step.
Damn it, Greg.
Sorry. Well, you can tell me what they have in common. And Paul Hennessy from 8 Simple Rules, played by John Ritter.
Oh,
I never saw the
wasn't
second.
this TGIF?
No. 8 Simple Rules wasn't TGIF.
No, 8 Simple Rules. It was actually, he died while he was on the show. What they have in common, Moscow, is Suzanne Summers. John Ritter with in Three's Company, and he was married to Suzanne Summers. I was trying to get you to have a Suzanne Summers shout out, Moscow.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Edgar, you got the floor here, man. So you got about a minute. So you got the floor with whatever you want to say.
All right. I'm gonna go with Alan Matthews from Boy Meets World. And Howard Cunningham from Happy Days.
Good one, Ed.
All right.
Can I do one? Can I do one more?
Yeah, please.
Barney Rubble.
Barney Rubble greater than Fred Flintstone.
Oh, glad he did it. I'm so glad he did it.
Ward, couple guys that didn't get picked: Ward Cleaver, Damon Wayans' character, and My Wife and Kids. Sandy Cohen. I thought Greg might get him. Herman Munster, played by Fred Glynn, who was the judge in My Cousin Vinny, and also the creepy guy in Pet Sematary. So a lot of George Lopez, a lot of guys out there that didn't get picked.
Homer Simpson.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Homer Simpson. Yeah. So this was fun though, guys. I appreciate it, and so yeah, we're gonna keep doing these as long as people like doing them. So this was fun, and appreciate you guys taking the time to do it. So we will talk soon. Have a great night.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. If you like our programming, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, or subscribe to your favorite podcast platform like iTunes or Spotify. This is original Youngstown content, and we would appreciate you sharing the videos and the word about us. Thank you.